Hi, welcome to this writing introduction and just giving you some ideas today just to help you with your writing, specifically for your writing part 2, but it does apply to writing part 1. It also applies to the general test as well as the academic test, especially because the writing task 2 is the same for both. Now there's plenty of people out there talking about IELTS and there's a lot of free information and some of it's really good. And this is free information again, and hopefully you'll find this really helpful and good. I used to be an examiner for both writing and speaking for the British Council, so I have some expertise in this field, and hopefully it's going to come across and you get a lot out of it. So today I'm just giving you the examiner's perspective, those 4 different criteria that they're looking at, and a little bit of information about each one. My course and my classes go into much more detail, obviously, and you're very welcome to contact me if you're interested in them. So there's 4 different criteria, and they're the 4 different things that the examiner marks. Everything else, any other comments that a teacher or a professor might have about IELTS is not important if it's not about task achievement, cohesion and coherence, lexical resource, and grammatical range and accuracy. So you must get to know what you must do in your writing task. Otherwise, you end up focusing on language, usually, and grammar, which is fine, but if you're not answering the question and you're not cohesively doing it, how are you going to get a good score for task achievement and cohesion and coherence? So today I'm going to go quickly through the kinds of things that the examiner is exactly looking for. Okay, most importantly, task achievement, did you answer the question? For instance, discuss both views, give your opinion. Did you give one view, the other view, and your opinion? 3 ideas. Did you give those? That leads neatly on to number 2. Did you fully answer all parts of the question? Did you fully develop your main ideas? So did you extend your main idea? Did you give your main idea and then explain it in your topic, in your main body paragraph? Did you do what the question actually asked you to do? Yeah? Did you actually answer the question? And a lot of the time, students will give very elaborate and complicated reasons as to why this is the answer and this is the solution to the problem, or this is the reason why they agree or disagree. And what you find is that they're actually not answering the question because they're trying to be a little bit clever. So my advice always is to keep the ideas simple, but do your best with your language and your English, because it's after all an English test, not an ideas test. It's not an IQ test. So that's the first part. Did you answer the question? Did you fully answer all parts of the question? Did you fully develop your main ideas? Did you do what the question actually asked you to do? So 4 things to look at when you're looking at task achievement. These are not the only things, but they're the main things, and they help you to understand what you should be doing when you're writing your answer. Okay, so let's move on now. Cohesion and coherence. How well does it fit together? So, did you accurately and appropriately use cohesive devices? Cohesive devices connect sentences and ideas together. So did you use them correctly? Additionally, which is a cohesive device, is your position clear throughout your response? Yeah? Is it clear in your introduction? Is it clear in your conclusion? Is it clear throughout your main body paragraphs? All the way through your essay? Is it clear? If it's not clear, you're not going to do very well for cohesion and coherence. Did you logically organize the information? Yeah, did you logically organize the information? Did you present the idea? Did you extend the idea? Did you support the idea? Did you do that? Did you give an example or not? That's very important. Did you use paragraphing effectively? Yeah. Did you find that your paragraphs present a clear position in each paragraph? Are they effective paragraphs, or are you writing many ideas in one paragraph? Is there a clear central topic within each paragraph? So back to what I just said, if there's many ideas, there's not a clear central topic in the paragraph. And that's what the examiner's looking for. Not because they really want to see that, but because that's what the exam paper tells them they must look for. Okay, to summarise cohesion and coherence, did you accurately and appropriately use cohesive devices? Is your position clear throughout your essay? Did you logically organise the information? Did you use paragraphing effectively? Is there a clear central topic within each paragraph? So let's move on to the third one. The third one is lexical resource. What's that? Language, vocabulary. What is lexical resource? It's about vocabulary or language. So accurate use of vocabulary. Accurate use of vocabulary. Now, one of the big things to learn in IELTS, and hopefully you do practice this, is the use of paraphrasing. The meaning the same, but changing the words in a sentence, either by changing the word order or by using synonyms. Now, both things you need to get some practice at, especially in your speaking and your writing. And it also helps you in your listening and your reading too. So learning how to paraphrase is really important. So a lot of people, they learn a synonym and they don't know how close it is to the actual word, if it's very similar or if it's not very similar. And that use of the synonym can cause a lot of problems for your accuracy, because you might think that that word means the same as that word, but actually it's only close. So that's part of the reason why I do the IELTS language, to help you fit words exactly into the question. But what you must do, obviously, is learn language correctly. So you learn how it fits. If it fits entirely with the same meaning, you can't just use the word, say, for instance, people, and then talk about women, because we're only talking about 50% of people. Yeah? Sufficient range of vocabulary. So in a writing test, you're usually being asked to say the same thing 3 times. In your speaking test part 2, you're looking to say the same thing 3 times. In the introduction, in your main body, and then repeat and summarise in your conclusion. That's generally the way you can do well, and your position becomes clear throughout your essay. So, a sufficient range of vocabulary is required to get there. So, how is your vocabulary? If it's not very good, let's look at some of the topics that come up in an IELTS test and learn words around them. Now again, if you're looking to study for free, there's lots of great information you can find in newspapers, on TED Talks, that will provide you words to help you with common subjects like the environment, population, technology, all these education, healthcare. There's lots of different topics that come up quite frequently. 5, 6, maybe 10 different topics. Now, the thing to do is to read an article, something that's a little bit more difficult to read, or check out TED Talks and learn about that subject. That person will generally say those words, and then you can investigate further by looking at the subtitles at the bottom. Spelling, well, you know, I'm not a good speller, never been a good speller, so that's something you have to learn on your own, but again, something important to the language. Word formation, again, are you using the right word at the right time? Is it past perfect? Is it simple present? Which verb do you need to use? Again, practice. And use of collocations. Now this is again something that can really be improved quickly by having a good teacher. They can help you to show you how words fit together. Now not every teacher can do that, but it's something that they can, a native speaker should know very well. How words fit together. Do they collocate each other well? If they don't, then really you're going to start to pull down, and that's the difference when you're often studying alone. You're not sure how those words fit together. Often the case as an examiner, you'll see sentences with words that you've never ever seen put together before. And that's okay if the explanation and the understanding is clear, but it's not the best use of language. We're generally looking for words that fit together nicely and native speakers use. Okay, to summarise, looking at lexical resource or vocabulary, we're looking at the inaccurate use of vocabulary. We're looking to make sure that you have a sufficient range of vocabulary. How's your spelling? Making sure your spelling is what is good. Your word formation. And lastly, how is your collocation? Do the words really fit together nicely? Okay, so that's language. Now the fourth one, grammatical range and accuracy. Now, you maybe spent a lot of hours with a teacher repeating grammar rules. And if you have, I know the feeling and I feel sorry for you. It's not an easy subject, grammar. It's one that I rarely touch, mainly because I like to get people moving. I like to get them feeling confident, not just criticizing the problems they have with grammar. We all have problems with grammar. What do we need in IELTS? We need things like, do you use a variety of complex structures? Now, first of all, find out what a complex structure is. A complex structure is basically two ideas in the same sentence. My car is fast is a simple sentence or simple structure. My car is red and fast. It's a complex structure, two ideas in the same sentence. So it's not about complex words or complex ideas. Did you use a mix of complex and simple structures? So did you just have one type of structure, or was it a mix? Did you have past perfect and then past simple and then move on in that way? Did you have a different structure in a lot of your sentences, or were they very similar? And of course, lastly, did you use grammar accurately? Commas, semicolons, maybe periods or full stops, capital letters, all those things that you learn when you're learning grammar, English grammar, at the very beginning. Okay, to summarise, grammatical range and accuracy. Did you use a variety of complex structures? Did you use a mix of simple and complex sentences? Did you use grammar accurately? So as you can see, we've got those four different things, and there are many things the examiner is looking for. Now, what I do in my course is to help you, walk you through this, and to make sure that you are ticking all these boxes. You can actually say, yes, I have answered the question. Yes, I am fully developing my answer. Do I fully provide the main ideas? Am I organising my information logically? There are main ways to do that, which is like structure, obviously, which you can learn. And there are other ways to do that as well, which we do in our classes and in our courses. And that's what you'll see if you take this further. I hope this has helped you. Whether you're going to continue on and contact me directly, you're always very welcome. And if whether you're just going to leave it at that, thanks for showing up, and I appreciate you for staying. Appreciate it for you taking your time today and going through this with me. There are many IELTS teachers on the internet, and I hope you find a good one if you're looking for one. If you are looking for one, you can always come to me, and I look forward to seeing you. And thanks so much again for investing your time. I hope it's been a little bit informative, and you've got some understanding about exactly what the examiner is looking for. And I look forward to hearing from you in the future. Thanks very much, and happy studies.